Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our King of the Ring pay-per-view event, a show that has become the breeding ground for major transformations, as legendary factions have been created at this event, as underdogs have won championship gold at this event, and as gladiators have morphed into icons at this very same event. And I can't wait to see what happens as our King of the Ring pay-per-view kicks off with what should be an incredible bout. How are you all doing? My name is Dominic, of course, and we are kicking it off with one of three King of the Ring tournament matches. We've got two semifinals with Johnny Gargano taking on Andrade Cien Almas and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Kyle O'Reilly. But then the winner of those two individual matches will feature in our main event bout, with the winner getting a shot at either the WWE or Universal title at our SummerSlam event. Ladies and gentlemen, this King of the Ring tournament has become an incredible tournament throughout the years. We have seen unbelievable winners leave as a potential contender for a top title. This King of the Ring tournament has changed the careers of so many. Okay, obviously there's a big Stone Cold Steve Austin elephant in the room, and I'm talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin and his success in correlation with the King of the Ring pay-per-view event, and specifically the tournament that it's themed around. Well, then you know that this tournament can create major stars, and that's exactly what I can't wait to see happen tonight. As there you see the brackets, the current bracket for the King of the Ring tournament. Andrade Cien Almas beats Big E to get here. Johnny Gargano beat AJ Styles to get here. Nakamura beat Pete Dunne to get here. Kyle O'Reilly beat Rey Mysterio to get here. All 8 of the competitors in this King of the Ring tournament are incredible superstars, in my opinion. They are great athletes. However, only one can reach to the top of the mountain. Only one can be the best. And I can't wait to see what happens, as Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas know the importance of this King of the Ring tournament. Hell, on the last pay-per-view event, Money in the Bank, these two suffered major losses. Johnny Gargano lost to Alistair Black in a bout for the WWE title, and Andrade lost to Drew McIntyre in a bout for the Intercontinental Championship. However, this, ladies and gentlemen, could be the night where either one of those two competitors will watch as their career changes in an instant. However, right now, it's time to kick off the match as the bell rings and we get right into it. And Andrade Cien Almas immediately goes for a cover off the clothesline, trying to get a quick victory, of course. Both of these competitors know that later on, if they were to win this matchup... Oh, wait a second, going for another pinfall attempt here. However, this time by Johnny, but it's Andrade who kicks out immediately. Okay, it seems as though back and forth pinfall attempts here. One. No, only a 1 count. Okay, but before I can even finish what I'm trying to say here, it seems as though the referee is screaming over me with the pinfall attempts, counting 1. No, and only a 1 count again. Back and forth, roll-up after roll-up pinfall attempt to kick off this matchup. As now, oh, wait a second. Andrade. No, only a 1 count there. Not even a 1 count. As Lena Vega watches on, he punches him in the face. Does Johnny Gargano, taking him down middle of the ring. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Very close 2 count there. And a back and forth series of pinfall attempts kicks off this King of the Ring tournament semi-final matchup. Okay, both men know how important this matchup is, ladies and gentlemen. Both men also know that they want to get a victory as fast as possible, because the winner of this matchup, as I mentioned earlier on, will be featuring in our main event match. And there you see Andrade Cien Almas telling Johnny Gargano that he has no chance of leaving this one with a victory. However, we're just gonna have to find out, as Johnny Gargano ducks underneath the clothesline, but he can't duck that punch. That massive hand. Oh, by Andrade Cien Almas, and now it seems as though back and forth trading blows here after trading the pinfall attempts over and over again. It's now Andrade Cien Almas who's got something in mind with the back elbow connecting beautifully. And the cover, no, not even a 1 count there, as the first ever NXT champion looks to leave here tonight with a shot at another world title. Of course, I mentioned Alistair Black and Drew McIntyre a few moments ago, and there you see Andrade Cien Almas taunting his opponent tonight, Johnny Gargano. But as I was saying, I mentioned Alistair and Drew McIntyre. Both men are competing here tonight, as there you see a massive forearm shot connecting by Johnny Gargano. And now it seems as though Gargano has something to say. Oh, however, it seems as though now the time for talk is over, and the time for one final beat is here. 1, 2... No, and only a 2 count following a massive DDT. Springboard over the top, connecting beautifully. And there you see another beautifully executed maneuver with those well-educated feet of Johnny Gargano. And another kick there for good measure, right to the stomach. As now Andrade. Oh, connects beautifully. Powerbomb there. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Andrade Cien Almas, known more for his incredible athleticism, showcasing there that he also has a lot of power and strength within him as he connects with a power bomb, taking him down. As now he charges towards him, goes towards him there, but instead gets another kick right to the stomach, ducking underneath what I believe was a running forearm attack of some sort. But what I do know is that Andrade Cien Almas, who has used those forearms to absolutely destroy his opponents, is now just using the closed fist over and over again, right to the jaw of Johnny Gargano. And now it seems as though, as we saw earlier on, it was Gargano with the educated feet. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. With the well-educated feet, it's now Andrade showcasing that he has those well-educated knees that he will use to smash your skull in if you aren't too careful. As Johnny Gargano now gets back to his feet here, Andrade Cien Almas with the strikes right to the chest. Okay, we've got a night of hot action to get through, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait to see what happens as Andrade Cien Almas turns him around. Johnny Gargano, however, gets out of it. He's got something in mind here. Full Nelson, no, instead he stomps on the foot. Andrade gets out of it picture perfectly before a massive running forearm attack again. As Zelina Vega watches on, she watches as her client Andrade Cien Almas decides to taunt the crowd. Perhaps not a smart strategy. We have seen Andrade's ego get the better of him in his career before. Will this be one of those nights? I'm not entirely sure, because it's Johnny Gargano who is still in a lot of pain, stuck in the corner, but perhaps Andrade Cien Almas, there you see, now stuck in that very same corner, but he gets out of it. Okay, catching the leg before a massive elbow right to the top of the knee, and then another forearm connecting, this time running towards him before again running towards him with the knees, crushing the skull of Johnny Gargano as Andrade Cien Almas decides to go up to the top here. Oh, and he connects! Corkscrew moonsault, 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Corkscrew moonsault off the top, and Johnny Gargano is not looking too good. However, it's Andrade Cien Almas. He doesn't care. He just cares about winning this matchup by any means necessary. And you can see right now the brutality of Andrade Cien Almas on display. As now he's got something in mind, picks him up back to his feet here. Johnny Gargano in a dangerous predicament. But it seems as though Gargano perhaps getting out of it with a trifecta of back elbows right to the stomach, right to the gut of Andrade. However, right now it's Gargano whose heart and soul is put on display as he's trying to fight back after taking so much punishment in the early moments of this matchup. However, right now Andrade Cien Almas immediately trying to fight back, but it's Gargano who catches the leg. Gargano catches the leg here, and the punches there connecting, and Gargano charges towards him. Andrade Cien Almas, however, counters, and these two are going back and forth right in that top left corner of the screen. However, right now Johnny, he's got him on the ropes here. throwing him to the outside. Andrade Cien Almas now getting a chance to perhaps take a breath here. However, Johnny Gargano with this breathless action seemingly having something in mind. Oh, but Andrade catches him. Johnny goes for the dive, but Andrade catches him. Connecting with a brutal punch. Connecting with a brutal punch. And now connecting perhaps as he does. Arm trap DDT. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count somehow. Andrade Cien Almas with an incredible arm trap DDT, an incredible position to counter that running suicide dive by Gargano, catching him with a brutal punch to the face, and Andrade decided to take advantage, goes for the arm trap DDT, his finishing maneuver, the maneuver that has put away so many other people, the maneuver that of course won him the NXT Championship, and yet it's Johnny Gargano who kicks out nonetheless, as Andrade now connects with a forearm shot. And another one for good measure. Those brutal hands, those brutal forearms, those brutal, sharp elbows put on display as Johnny Gargano is now sitting down. He collapses to the mat, but Andrade takes the opportunity to hit him with a running knee again. And Andrade now, once again, takes the opportunity to showboat. Once again, takes the opportunity to taunt the crowd. But ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Gargano gets back to his feet. Gargano gets back to his feet. Ducks underneath the punch. And he connects. Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano perhaps seeing this as an opportunity. He's trying to fight back here. He's trying to fight back here as he connects with the lawn dart. The entire crowd watching on as Johnny Gargano perhaps making the biggest comeback of his life as Andrade, after basically dominating this entire matchup, perhaps might just get a DIY super kick. And Gargano perhaps knocking out Andrade. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Johnny Gargano finally getting a moment, an opportunity to make his own comeback, to perhaps rewrite his own story in the matchup, and yet it's Andrade who kicks out, and Johnny Gargano doesn't know what to do with himself. Oh, and there you see a massive punch to the face again, and Gargano, he looks sick and tired of this. He looks pissed off. He throws him back to the outside, and once again Andrade, he ain't looking so good. Johnny Gargano, he tried it once, it failed before. Perhaps this time it'll connect, and no, it doesn't. The only connection between Andrade and Gargano is that stiff right hand that takes Johnny Gargano off his feet as he collapses into the ring. And now, oh, it's Andrade who uses those well-educated feet to good use. The cartwheel into the backflip, into the kick to the side of the head. 1, 2. No, and it's still not enough. As Andrade waits for Gargano to get up. Perhaps he has something in mind here. Oh, as he connects with a brutal knee right to the face. Oh, and then a kick to the gut. As Johnny ain't looking so good. Arm trap DDT. Arm trap DDT again. 1, 2, 3. No! Andrade, after an entire matchup where he has dominated Gargano, after not 1, but 2 arm trap DDTs, Johnny Gargano still finds it within him to kick out. As Gargano, here tonight, perhaps the ultimate underdog in this match against Andrade Cien Almas after the display of action. He takes him down here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count again. Neither man willing to quit. However, admittedly, Andrade Cien Almas has taken a hell of a lot less punishment than Gargano, but perhaps this time he goes for a second DIY kick. Nobody home that time, however. Nobody home as he launches him into the corner. Running forearm attack connecting beautifully, and then again crushing his skull with the knees. And Andrade Cien Almas collapses into the pinfall. 1, 2. No, only a 2. Where is Johnny Gargano getting this from? I absolutely have no idea. Andrade Cien Almas looks down at Gargano. Oh no, wait a second. Perhaps he's prepping up for a third DDT. Goes for a kick, however, Gargano catches the leg. Gargano catches the leg. Turns him around. Full Nelson spin out slam again. And Gargano into the pinfall attempt here. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. The referee, in my opinion, however, a bit too slow. Perhaps still in shock that Gargano is still in this matchup. But Andrade nonetheless kicks out. And perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, Zelina Vega may be thanking that referee later on if Andrade can secure the victory. And now there you see both men. Oh, it seems as though this matchup perhaps has boiled down to a back and forth series of strikes here. Andrade and Gargano both exhausted, both in a lot of pain. As Johnny trying to fight back here, connecting with a few strikes, tripping him up here, and Johnny Gargano! Johnny's got him! The Gargano escape! Andrade Cien Almas! He taps! Johnny Gargano, after taking all of that punishment, gets the job done. And now he moves forward in the King of the Ring tournament. But you gotta think, after all the punishment by Andrade, after hitting him with not 1 but 2 arm trap DDTs, you have to think that Johnny Gargano is walking in to that final matchup of tonight's show with a lot of pain. However, he also is walking in with a lot of heart, as Johnny Gargano's defining character trait, in my opinion, is his heart, his determination, and his need, his drive to become a top champion. Perhaps could surpass anything either Shinsuke Nakamura or Kyle O'Reilly can do to him in our main event, because Johnny Wrestling has secured himself a spot in our main event of the evening, and I can't wait to see what happens as Gargano from Smackdown gets the job done. However, there you see the current King of the Ring tournament bracket. Johnny Gargano, he has secured himself a spot, as I just mentioned, in the finals of our King of the Ring tournament. However, now he's got to worry about either Shinsuke Nakamura or Kyle O'Reilly. Okay, both competitors, you could argue, have very similar attributes. Both men are hard-hitting. Both men are submission specialists. Both men will knock you out or tap you out without hesitation. And tonight, we're going to see which one will be going on to the finals to face off against Johnny Gargano. As there you see Shinsuke Nakamura, Mr. Money in the Bank himself, walks to the ring. Now Shinsuke Nakamura, just to remind you, has promised to the world that he will not be cashing in that briefcase until WrestleMania. Okay, Shinsuke Nakamura, he has said to the fans that he respects everybody in that locker room, and whoever is either the WWE or Universal Champion by WrestleMania time, well then they have already earned his respect. And as such, Shinsuke Nakamura, he believes that that briefcase right there gives him a date with Destiny as being in the main event slot of the biggest show of the year. However, perhaps Nakamura could leave here tonight with a chance at becoming a top champion regardless of that briefcase. Because like I said before, the winner of the King of the Ring tournament will go on to face off either against the WWE or Universal Champion at SummerSlam. So tonight, Shinsuke Nakamura stands in the middle of the ring as he waits for this man, Kyle O'Reilly. Okay, both men know how hard-hitting each other are. Both men know how dangerous the other is. And tonight we're going to find out which one is the most dangerous. Tonight we're going to find out which one will face off against Gargano in that main event. That's Kyle O'Reilly there, you see. Not the only Undisputed Era member in action tonight. Okay, Roderick Strong, on the last episode of Raw, he fought against Tommaso Ciampa inside a steel cage for a chance to leave as the Universal Champion. Tonight, Adam Cole will be in action against Kevin Owens. The winner will receive a shot at the Universal title at Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. So you have to think, if Kyle O'Reilly were to somehow win the entire tournament, if he were to somehow win the entire tournament, then by SummerSlam's end, we could see the Undisputed Era ruling over both Raw and SmackDown with the Universal and WWE titles. However, right now, Kyle O'Reilly is staring across the ring at Shinsuke Nakamura, the King of Strong Style, and you can already feel the electricity coursing through your veins. And if you don't, then maybe you should check your pulse as Shinsuke Nakamura and Kyle O'Reilly kick us off here with some back and forth here, as I would expect. Both men, expert grapplers, as Kyle O'Reilly grapples Nakamura to the mat as Nakamura rolls out. He is the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, and what that means is that he has developed a style that is incredibly hard-hitting and very technical, unlike anybody else we've ever seen, as Nakamura, only a one count, gets taken down there by Kyle O'Reilly. It's O'Reilly in the gray, yellow, and white and black attire. Shinsuke, the common black and red, after coming out here with the bright green Money in the Bank briefcase. That briefcase that, in his mind, has secured him a slot in the main event of WrestleMania. However, Shinsuke Nakamura, there you see, turns it into a beautiful display of maneuvering with, that headlock there. However, Kyle, only a 2 count. However, Kyle O'Reilly gets out of the headlock. Irish Whip connects with the belly to belly, and right now Kyle O'Reilly thus far has perhaps had Shinsuke's number. As there you see both men who have a lot of respect for one another get a good look to stare each other in the eye. However, right now, we're going to find out, following this matchup, who will be leaving with perhaps a black eye here. As Kyle, with a forearm, and then a kick, and a few more for good measure, and Kyle O'Reilly is an expert, striker. Unlike anybody else we've seen here in the WWE, he's very unique in how he performs these dangerous strikes with a brutal knee right to the stomach. And now, 1, 2... No, and only a 2 count. And that's exactly how Kyle O'Reilly won his match against Rey Mysterio. He focused on the stomach. He focused on the midsection before hitting that regal plex out of nowhere to get the job done. As there you see Kyle O'Reilly, an expert showcase of athleticism, getting out of the back suplex. However, right now, he turns it into another form of suplex there, launching him across the ring. As Shinsuke rolls outside, trying to perhaps find himself some breathing room, but Kyle, with another suplex, brings him back into the ring. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Both men here tonight coming from Monday Night Raw, as Kyle goes for a kick, but instead Nakamura gets taken down. However, I talked about the implication of Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole both leaving here tonight, both leaving SummerSlam perhaps with both of the top titles on Raw and SmackDown. However, you gotta think about Shinsuke Nakamura as well. If he were to leave here tonight with a shot at either the WWE or Universal title, well then who's to say that he's not main eventing WrestleMania with both the WWE and Universal titles wrapped around his waist and on his shoulder. However, right now, Shinsuke Nakamura, he can't be focusing about perhaps the future implications of tonight's matchup. He cannot be focusing on what could happen. He has to force his dreams into reality, and Kyle O'Reilly is not allowing him a chance to get that dream to become a reality. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count there, following a massive dropkick by Kyle O'Reilly off the top turnbuckle. As Shinsuke gets back to his feet, Kyle O'Reilly turns him around. He seemingly has something in mind here. However, instead it's the back elbows connecting by Nakamura. And now Nakamura, goes for that signature Shinsuke Nakamura back suplex. But instead, Kyle O'Reilly gets out of it. Picture perfect there. Once again showcasing his athleticism. And perhaps now he's showcasing his power as he launches Shinsuke across the ring. And Kyle O'Reilly, 1/4 of the Undisputed Era. He's feeling it here tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura gets back to his feet. Kyle O'Reilly sees this as an opportunity, looking to tap out Nakamura. He's got him here. He's got him here. Trying to choke out Shinsuke. Trying to choke out Shinsuke here. Kyle O'Reilly, will he have it? He's got the guillotine. He's got the guillotine. He's got the guillotine. Nakamura's stuck in the middle of the ring. Nakamura's stuck in the middle of the ring. But he gets out of it. Shinsuke using his own raw power to get out of it, and another slam takes down Kyle. 1, 2, no, only a 2 count. Neither man here tonight willing to quit. Neither man here tonight looking to leave here in this matchup without a victory. Okay, the King of the Ring tournament has created superstars, as I mentioned earlier. Shinsuke Nakamura and Kyle O'Reilly want to leave here as a bona fide, undeniable superstar. As right now, Shinsuke Nakamura perhaps looking to slow down the pace here, working over the arm of Kyle O'Reilly. No, wait a second, it looks like Kyle gets out of it perhaps. Oh, and he does. Back elbow connecting. Shinsuke Nakamura tries to transfer that hold into another one beautifully, but Kyle gets out of it nonetheless. And Nakamura showcasing that he doesn't need to tap you out if you just get knocked out, with Kyle O'Reilly taking a trifecta of brutal strikes by Shinsuke. Oh god, and now connects with a knee right to the face. Not quite a Kinshasa, but still devastating. As Shinsuke now looks down at Kyle O'Reilly. He waits for him to get up. He's got something in mind, perhaps runs towards him. He goes to lift up the knee. He goes to lift up the knee, but instead Kyle catches him. Kyle catches him, perhaps saving himself from a devastating Kinshasa. Oh, and there you see, it's Shinsuke Nakamura who fights back, catching the leg that time. And now it looks like Kyle O'Reilly does take a knee, this time to the spine. And Nakamura sees this. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. He sees that as a potential victory, but Kyle O'Reilly gets out of it nonetheless. Oh, and there you see Nakamura with a massive boot right to the stomach. And now Kyle O'Reilly looks to fight back here. Shinsuke Nakamura and Kyle O'Reilly perhaps trading shots right now, but it's Nakamura who perhaps looks to end the sequence, as he's got him up for that signature knee right to the abdomen. In the cover now. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count again. There's now Kyle. Oh, charges towards him. He gets out of it. Does Shinsuke Nakamura getting out of that, perhaps devastating position. But instead, Kyle now, oh, wait a second, finds himself in a position here. Both men very used to the armbar to tap out other competitors. Well, now Kyle O'Reilly finds himself in that devastating hold. Will Kyle tap out here? Will Kyle tap out here? No, he quickly gets out of it. Kyle tried to tap out Nakamura with the guillotine. Nakamura tries to tap him out with the armbar. Oh, however, right now, Kyle O'Reilly with a kick right to the side of the leg before a punch to the face by Nakamura. Goes for a chop. Kyle connects with one of his own. And both men are going back and forth. And once again, now Shinsuke Nakamura concluding the sequence with one of his own maneuvers. This time the half Boston Crab as he looks to tap out Kyle O'Reilly. The referee paying very close attention. Will he tap? No, he doesn't. This is a high-stakes bout, ladies and gentlemen. Shinsuke Nakamura charges towards him. Kyle O'Reilly, oh, wait a second, catches him with a kick. Brainbuster connecting! 1, 2, no! Only 2 counts. Brainbuster out of nowhere, and Kyle O'Reilly can't believe it. Kyle can't believe it, and neither can anybody else in attendance. As there you see a slap, taking him down to one knee, and Kyle O'Reilly is feeling it. Oh, and there you see a backhand right to the chest, as now Shinsuke Nakamura similarly taunts Kyle, who goes for a running super kick, instead gets caught. As Kyle now, he's got something in mind here. Kyle O'Reilly, oh, he goes for something there. Shinsuke Nakamura quickly evades the maneuver. Oh, and now out of nowhere, Kid Sasha! 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, oh my god. I'm sorry if I've blown out your eardrums there, but Shinsuke Nakamura almost blew a sigh of relief following that Kinshasa, but now the energy will still be coursing through his veins, and perhaps that energy ain't just adrenaline, but it's also anger, as, oh, Kyle O'Reilly somehow kicks out of a surprise Kinshasa, and now Kyle O'Reilly connects with a few strikes of his own. He's feeling it now. Nakamura's down. He goes for the cover. 1, 2, and again only a 2 count. However, Nakamura perhaps battling through the pain following that devastating combination. Oh, and now he's perhaps trying to slow down the pace once again. Shinsuke Nakamura, he is a master at controlling the pace of a matchup. But Kyle O'Reilly not allowing him the chance to do so as he gets out of it. Instead, he gets a kick to the gut. And now here we go. Kyle O'Reilly with a forearm strike. Oh, and there you see Nakamura with one of his own. And now an open palm strike there by Kyle. And perhaps now, like Gargano and Andrade, these two are going back and forth here with the strikes. Both exhausted, both in a lot of pain. Oh, as now a duo of chops there on your screen. One by both men. However, a kick to the gut connects. As now, it's Shinsuke and Kyle who are feeling the adrenaline. Kyle O'Reilly shaking with anger. And Nakamura challenging him to bring it on. Forearm strike. Another forearm strike. He goes for another one, but instead gets a punch. And now Shinsuke Nakamura with a quick combination, but instead both men countering each other here. Counter after counter, strike after strike. Both men have an answer for everything. Shinsuke rolls out of the way of that devastating kick. Goes for a running knee perhaps. Instead, Kyle O'Reilly catches the leg. And now, Shinsuke Nakamura. He ain't looking so good. Kyle O'Reilly taking the opportunity to crack his neck. However, right now, we could be hearing the crack of a skull if Shinsuke Nakamura can hit the Kinshasa. However, right now, Kyle O'Reilly not allowing him the chance to do so, but Shinsuke Nakamura connects with a punch. And now, Irish Whip, ducks underneath. Goes for, oh, another one! And it connects! 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Another full Nelson suplex. Another pinfall attempt. And yet another kick out. As Kyle O'Reilly Looks at Shinsuke Nakamura, who fights back there with a strike. Turns him around here. Nakamura connecting there finally! That signature Shinsuke back suplex. As now Shinsuke, there you see, perhaps exhausted, using the corner, leaning against the corner. Perhaps now he could be setting it up here. He could be setting up for the Kinshasa. No! Kyle O'Reilly counters. Kyle O'Reilly counters. And now Kyle out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. O'Reilly is going to the main event of this very same show as Shinsuke Nakamura suffers a massive loss here. The Regalplex connecting by Kyle O'Reilly, and now it could be a night of regality, of royalty, you could say, as Kyle O'Reilly looks to name himself the King of the Ring. But will he be able to do it? We're gonna have to find out in our main event as he goes one-on-one against Johnny Gargano. Neither man willing to give up this shot, and neither man willing to give up this time in the spotlight as Kyle and Shinsuke go to war while Kyle O'Reilly preps for another.
The following message has been brought to you by the club.
Well, it seems as though Finn Balor, the leader of the club, has decided to promise the world that the club will rise back to power here in the WWE, that they will rise back to the top of this company, the biggest company in professional wrestling today. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and Finn Balor, according to the leader of the club, Finn Balor himself, will leave with both the Smackdown Tag Team titles and the Intercontinental Championship. However, the question remains, will those promises be made true by the end of the night? We're gonna find out later on. However, right now I want to turn your attention not to the Smackdown Tag Division, but the Raw Tag Division, as the Raw Tag Team titles will be on the line. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush are the challengers. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates, they are the champions. These two teams are no strangers to one another. However, you also have to remember, this crowd in particular are no strangers to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates of British Strong Style. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates are walking in here tonight as the hometown heroes, as Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush are walking in to enemy territory. Okay, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates are walking in as the Raw Tag Team Champions in front of this live and sold-out Blackpool crowd here at the King of the Ring event. But the question remains, will Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates be able to retain those tag team titles and continue this dominating display? Or will Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush be able to do what seemingly no other tag team can do here in WWE, and that is beat British Strong Style in a title matchup? Okay, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they are the last ever NXT Tag Team Champions. In fact, on one of the final episodes of NXT, it was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus Bobby Lashley and Io Rush in a match for the NXT Tag Team titles. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they successfully retained their titles at the time. Tonight, we're going to see if Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, here in the middle of Blackpool, will retain their Raw Tag Team titles as they go up against the power and speed combination of Lashley and Rush. The bell rings, and it's time for a fight. There's Bobby Lashley there. You see the big man kicking off this matchup. Oh, with Tyler Bate, as Tyler connects with a brutal strike right to the face. However, Bobby Lashley almost seemingly looking unfazed here tonight as he stares across the ring at Tyler and again just keeps taunting Tyler Bate, who keeps punching him in the face. Bobby Lashley doesn't even look affected as Tyler launches the big man across into the corner. And there you see a running chop to the chest and a few more strikes. However, now it's Bobby Lashley with a strike to the face. However, Tyler Bate, there you see the quickness advantage here in this exchange between himself and Bobby as he ducks underneath the clothesline, but he goes for a big boot, and there you see Bobby Lashley plants his feet to the mat. Tyler Bate nearly gets decapitated, and now he gets sent over there with a massive German suplex. And Lashley already showcasing what he can bring to the table. And it's that incredible power and that tremendous strength of Bobby Lashley that has won him so many different matches against so many top-tier athletes. Not just in the WWE, but all across the world here in professional wrestling. And, of course, within the confines of an octagon. However, right now, Bobby Lashley, well, there you see, just taking down Pete Dunne. Bobby Lashley sends Pete Dunne off the apron as he sends Tyler Bate into the corner as Bobby Lashley, the powerhouse, looks to continue on here to make the tag to Io Rush as he holds Tyler Bate still with his raw power, stretching out the arm before Io Rush, the high flyer of the group, flies off the middle turnbuckle to land hard on the shoulder. Oh, there you see Bobby Lashley and Io Rush connecting with a duo of dropkicks, and Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight, he wants the tag, but instead it's perhaps Bobby Lashley who is looking to create a few bruises all over the body of Pete Dunne before Tyler Bate gets sent down into the middle of the squared circle. And oh, wait a second, look at this. Look at this Bobby Lashley! Bobby Lashley like a one-man wrecking crew, taking down both Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne single-handedly, as Io Rush just watches on with a big grin on his face as Lashley connects with a running European uppercut, as now, perhaps from the corner, he could be setting up for that devastating spear. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, nearly splitting Tyler Bate in half. However, right now, Tyler Bate, he does get up. He is trying to battle through the pain here, but Bobby Lashley looking to continue the onslaught. Of course, Bobby Lashley, his previous title matchup did not go so well for him. It was Lashley versus Keith Lee for the NXT title over on Raw. And Bobby Lashley, he suffered a major injury during that matchup, landing hard on his head and neck area. But right now, Bobby Lashley and Io Rush take down Tyler Bate together, and right now Bobby Lashley is seemingly back to 100% as Tyler Bate gets back to his feet before being dropped on the top of his own head. Massive DDT before being taken down does Pete Dunne by Io Rush, and now Io Rush following an impressive DDT as he impressively glides across the ring there, connecting. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count there massive kick to the side of the skull. Tyler Bate once again kicks out and once again gets back to his feet. Of course, Tyler Bate, he is very much well known all across the world for this undeniable heart and determination that he brings to the table. While Pete Dunne is more known for his dangerous moves and his devastating mindset when it comes to professional wrestling, Tyler Bate, he can withstand so much punishment. However, he is still merely a man. He has suffered his fair share of losses, but right now, he's going up against both Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, as Lio there you see with a forearm. Oh, however, Tyler Bate, after taking down Bobby Lashley off the apron, Tyler Bate perhaps seeing this as an opportunity to connect with a massive Hurricane Rana. And perhaps Bate now sees this as he finally makes the tag here. After taking so much punishment, after taking the spear, after taking the kick by Lio Rush, it's Pete Dunne who runs in. And the Bruiserweight now sends Bobby Lashley down off the apron. Perhaps a bit of revenge from a few moments ago. As Lio Rush gets back to his feet, he goes for a kick. Instead, he gets a kick right to the stomach and an X-Plex for good measure. 1, 2... No, and only a 2 count, and Pete Dunne here tonight is like a house of fire. However, right now, Lio Rush gets back to his feet before using those well-educated feet to good use, taking Pete Dunne off of his. However, right now, Lashley, he walks back into the ring, massive overhand strike right to Pete Dunne, as Dunne right now, seemingly having something in mind here, a massive kick connecting right to the stomach. However, Lashley, goes for a running lariat, ducks underneath, does Pete Dunne as the big man. Bobby Lashley gets back to his own feet before taking him down, nearly decapitating him, just like with Tyler Bate in the opening moments of this matchup. As Lashley just launches Pete Dunne across the ring, and now Lashley once again showcasing why they call him Walking Armageddon, with a massive spear nearly driving Pete Dunne through the mat, nearly driving himself through Pete Dunne. That is the power, that is the scary strength of Lashley. As Lashley, wait a second, takes this opportunity, stares down Tyler Bate, but instead, Tyler Bate strikes back there, and Pete Dunne, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Bobby Lashley perhaps taking an opportunity to, stroke his own ego, and instead, Bobby Lashley gets his comeuppance, as Bobby Lashley is not looking too good. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate continue there, and there you see the wheel kick by Tyler Bate, that signature wheel kick before sending Lio Rush down to the outside. Bobby Lashley gets back in the corner here. There you see Pete Dunne with the knees to the lower spine, and now a bitter ending perhaps for Bobby Lashley. 1, 2, no! This whole matchup, ladies and gentlemen, has been a breathless sprint of offense by both teams, yet Pete Dunne with a massive bitter ending that has taken down so many other competitors, does not get the job done. As now, wait a second, there you see, he goes for perhaps a belly-to-back suplex. Instead, it's Tyler Bate who gets a massive punch to the face. Bobby Lashley looking to fight back here with a massive European uppercut. Charging towards him, and now looking to charge towards him once again, as he connects with a second spear to Pete Dunne, and then a punch for good measure on Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate gets knocked off the apron. Bobby Lashley, oh my god, the scary raw power of Lashley, picking up Pete Dunne for the Dominator all the way from the mat. 1, 2, no, and again, only a 2 count. Bobby Lashley with that terrifying sense of raw power, slamming Pete Dunne into the mat with a massive Dominator, and yet even after all the punishment by Bobby Lashley and Io Rush. Pete Dunne still kicks out, and now, Bobby Lashley is perhaps looking to make him pay for it. However, there you see, wait a second, Pete Dunne gets back to his feet, and now Bobby Lashley takes him back down. Okay, I understand Pete Dunne trying to battle through the pain following that released German suplex, and now Bobby Lashley perhaps looking to take out the punishment on Tyler Bate as well, with a released belly to belly, bringing him from the outside of the ring back inside the squared circle. However, right now, Pete Dunne looks to continue his fight here as he goes for a maneuver off the Irish Whip. Bobby Lashley, however, plants his feet to the mat. His strength being put on display in just those little moments as Pete Dunne is unable to lift Lashley following the Irish Whip, but now it's Lashley and Leo who send Pete Dunne into the air before crashing down as Io Rush looks to fly as well. However, just like Pete Dunne, Io Rush crashes down to the mat as now he goes for a maneuver, but Io Rush gets out of it, launching his opponent Pete Dunne across. However, right now, there you see Io Rush. He goes for a counter and connects beautifully with it. Pete Dunne, he goes for the enziguri. Io Rush with his speed on display, getting out of that maneuver. However, right now, Pete Dunne connects. Enziguri there connecting on Io Rush before another shoulder attack on Bobby Lashley. As Leo, Leo gets brought back to his feet before an X-Plex. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count again. Io Rush has now taken not 1 but 2 X-Plexes throughout the course of this matchup, and Pete Dunne is furious as to why he cannot keep him down. Perhaps Pete Dunne has no idea, but Io Rush showcasing why he did pull out a standout performance on the first episode of Raw following WrestleMania in his match against Adam Cole. However, right now, there you see Bobby Lashley gets taken down. And Pete Dunne now, with a massive forearm. Io Rush not looking too good. Oh my god. Dropped on the top of his head, dropped on his neck with a massive DDT. Io Rush not looking too good. Pete Dunne exhausted and in hurt, deciding to make the tag out to Tyler Bate so he can connect with the Tyler Driver. 1, 2, 3, in British Strong style. Leave here tonight with those Raw Tag Team titles. Pete Dunne unable to perhaps set up for that bitter end, perhaps not having the strength with him following such a back and forth brawl between these two teams. So he decides to tag out to Tyler Bate, and Tyler Bate connects beautifully with, of course, the Tyler Driver 97. However, you have to commend Bobby Lashley and Io Rush. Okay, Bobby Lashley, he took a bitter end and kicked out. As now, wait a second, hold on just a second here. Okay, I was talking about how I perhaps respected Lashley and Rush here tonight. And then they decided to take that respect away. As Lashley and Leo, come on. Not allowing Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to celebrate here in front of their friends, in front of their families here in Blackpool. This is absolutely ridiculous. As Io Rush and Bobby Lashley celebrate what? You guys lost. Okay, they lost here tonight. Okay, well, I can't say I'm necessarily familiar with this theme song, ladies and gentlemen. What in the hell? What? Ladies and gentlemen! Trent Severn! A European wrestling legend! Trent Severn is here tonight. Okay, you want to talk about British strong style? Well, in its original form, it was a trio. It was Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and this man, Trent Severin. And if you've never seen him before, well, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. As now he stares across the ring at Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley. As Lashley and Rush don't necessarily know what to make of this guy. And if you're a fan of Trent Severin, you never thought you would see this. You never thought you would see Trent Severin in a WWE ring. As he takes down Lio Rush. And now Trent looks across at Bobby Lashley, the big man. Bobby Lashley, charges towards him, goes for a clothesline, instead gets caught. And Trent Severin now, seemingly having something in mind. Burning hammer connecting by Trent Severin on Bobby Lashley. He chases Lio Rush out of the ring as he rolls to the outside, following a massive loss. Trent Severin, however, is here as he sends Bobby Lashley to the outside. Perhaps saving Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate from even more destruction here. And speaking of which, there you see Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate in disbelief, unable to fully comprehend what they can see. But ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. Trent Severin is here in the WWE. And now the original trifecta of British strong style stare across from one another. This entire crowd here who have watched these three men grow as athletes are here and in disbelief as well. And you can hear the crowd showing their affection for Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, and the man who saved them from even more destruction, Trent Severin. And there you see. Would you think that you would see this in a WWE ring? I have no idea. But British strong style in its original form are here tonight. As Trent Severin, alongside Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, is perhaps looking to dominate the Raw tag team scene. And if you think Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate were dangerous as a duo, you've seen nothing yet, as this trifecta could perhaps go on to run the Raw tag division. However, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we're going to find out who will leave here tonight running the Raw women's division. It's Asuka versus Io Shirai in what should be an incredible fight. Okay, these two are fairly similar competitors. This is a dream match for many. Both are destructive. Both are dominating. And both, ladies and gentlemen, are unpredictable. Asuka and Io Shirai. It's happening, folks. And it's happening here tonight at the King of the Ring event. And I can't wait to see what happens. Who will be leaving with the Raw Women's title? Will it be this woman, the challenger, Io Shirai, or will it be Asuka? Of course, Io Shirai, she has been absolutely dominating the main roster since joining Monday Night Raw a few months ago. Okay, she debuted at the Elimination Chamber, putting on a standout performance during the matchup. Before, of course, she went on to defeat Toni Storm a few episodes back in a back and forth matchup. And not only that, but she has been racking up so many victories leading into tonight's match. In fact, I would argue Io's only major loss since joining Raw was against Toni Storm in an Extreme Rules matchup on the previous episode of Raw before this very same event. However, you want to talk about people who have been dominating Raw, look no further than Asuka, who has been dominating the show for years. Okay, Asuka, she has been seemingly unbeatable here in the WWE. The only competitor, I would argue, that was able to defeat Asuka was Nia Jax at WrestleMania. However, right now, Asuka, she can't focus on Nia Jax. She can't focus on her past. She has to focus on the present, on the now, and on the future. This is a dream match. It's for the Raw Women's title, baby. And you're not gonna want to miss it. We've got Io Shirai, and we have got Asuka, and we have got a fight that's about to break out here in Blackpool. As the bell rings, and the match kicks off. Asuka in the purple and yellow. Io Shirai in the red, black, and silver. However, right now, there you see Asuka taunting her opponent. Taunting Io Shirai. Both women a bit hesitant to kick off the matchup, and I don't blame them. They each know how unpredictable the other is. But who's going to kick off the matchup? Well, it seems as though both women looking to kick off the match with a collar and elbow tie-up. Asuka, however, immediately goes to the belly-to-back position. Io Shirai, however, takes her down with a headlock. These two are expert grapplers, but they are even more terrifying strikers. And we're going to find that out, perhaps, as this matchup continues. However, right now, Asuka, stuck in the headlock, throws her there, Irish whip, but there you see Io Shirai catches her. Asuka, perhaps, ready to catch her there with an attack off the rebound. Yet Io Shirai moves out of the way, stopping herself from moving any more from the Irish whip. However, right now, it's Io Shirai. Oh, who goes for a strike, but instead Asuka catches her there. Picture perfect, goes for the cover, but no, not even a 1 count, stomping on the stomach of her challenger. As Asuka goes for a kick, Io Shirai, however, perhaps a bit too quick, getting out of it. Io Shirai, they call her the genius of the sky because she's not afraid to fly with that amazing athleticism that you just saw there, getting out of the back suplex. However, right now, Io Shirai with the strikes going after Asuka here. As I mentioned before, this is a dream match scenario. As now, oh wait a second, Io Shirai, wow! I mentioned before that athleticism by Io Shirai, and it seems as though she has decided to showcase that athleticism there, as she, sends Asuka to the outside. As Asuka right now, not looking too good, the Raw Women's Champion not looking too good. Of course, in her last title defense, it was Asuka versus Bayley, as Io Shirai is a very different competitor, of course, to Bayley, as she showcases just that by flying to the outside with a massive dive. And Io Shirai right now continues the onslaught. And now, there you see, she has her against the barricade, bouncing her skull off the barricade there. Io Shirai right now, the challenger, is absolutely dominating the champion like she has been dominating Raw ever since joining the Red brand. Io Shirai, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, just barely getting the shoulder. Perhaps we almost had a new champion here in this matchup at the King of the Ring event, as Io Shirai connects with a massive headbutt, and perhaps now mimicking Asuka with that taunt there, as she once again looks to control the pace here tonight, working over the arm. Io Shirai, of course, she's walking with that devastating moonsault off the top that she has used to conclude many a match here in the WWE. Asuka, she has the Asuka lock that she has used to tap out so many competitors. Both women have very different movesets, yet very similar attitudes when it comes to professional wrestling. And we're going to find out which one can leave with that Raw Women's title as Asuka gets thrown across the ring. Io Shirai right now with the strikes. A kick right to the chest and then a forearm for good measure. As Io Shirai now with the stomps trying to cave the damn chest in as she charges towards her there with a running knee strike. And Asuka not looking too good. Io Shirai once again rolls her over. 1, 2, no, and again only a 2 count. Asuka kicking out. Io Shirai trying to keep her down for the 3 once again. And I've got to say this, Io Shirai perhaps has been dominating this entire matchup. Okay, I mentioned it a few moments ago, but Asuka has barely gotten any offense in, and perhaps Asuka could be getting in some offense right now as the strike combination kicks off here. But it seems as though Io Shirai looks to put a stop to it. Asuka, however, there you see, spinning back fist, reversed. Oh, however now, Io Shirai and Asuka going back and forth with Io Shirai sending her across the ring, and there you see Io Shirai now, oh god, with a Meteora! Crushing the skull of Asuka, like Andrade in the opening matchup. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Like Andrade in the opening matchup with Johnny Gargano, Io Shirai crushes Asuka's skull with the running Meteora. And now, oh, wait a second, Io Shirai, perhaps seeing this as an opportunity! But Asuka gets the knees up. Io goes for the moonsault. Asuka gets the knees up. And now the running hip attack connecting. Running hip attack. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. And perhaps Asuka has finally gotten herself a moment. Has finally given herself a chance. After the dominating display by Io Shirai, Asuka is finally finding a moment in which she can continue to perhaps beat everybody in her path. And perhaps it's with this. Asuka with the Asuka lock. Asuka with the Asuka lock. Looking to tap out Io Shirai. Looking to tap out Io Shirai here. Asuka, she's got the chokehold. She's got it locked in. She will either make Io Shirai tap out or pass out, but perhaps not. As Io Shirai with a back elbow right to the face. Asuka, however, perhaps has finally gotten the opportunity to weaken her challenger. As Asuka now gets sent into the corner. Oh, wait a second. Io Shirai now gets sent to the corner as well. Oh, and she goes shoulder first into the post. As now there you see Asuka now finally getting this opportunity to perhaps secure her legacy in this dream match against Io Shirai. As now there you see Asuka, the submission specialist, looking to work over the arm here, looking to work over the arm of her challenger, looking to tap her out here. She's got the armbar locked in. She's got the armbar locked in. Io Shirai, will she be able to get out? And she does. Okay, Io Shirai, she's also a submission specialist. Let's not forget that, so she knows how to not only execute a few submission holds in her own right, but she also knows how to get out of some particular holds, like the Asuka lock, like the armbar. However, right now, Io Shirai looking to have a grip on the controls here in this matchup. However, Asuka not giving her the chance to rule over, this confrontation. As Io Shirai, Io Shirai looks to take them nonetheless. Looks to take that control nonetheless. Massive springboard dropkick back into the ring. 1, 2, no, and again only a 2 count. And again it's Asuka who just barely gets the shoulder up. As Io Shirai, oh god, with a massive kick right to the abdomen. And now there you see Io Shirai taunting the crowd. Perhaps Io stroking her ego a bit too much. However, nonetheless, It looks like Asuka is unable to take advantage as she takes a massive boot right to the face. As now, oh wait a second, Io Shirai flies to the outside! Io Shirai springboard off the middle rope before crashing down on Asuka. And Io Shirai now, seeing this perhaps as an opportunity. Oh wait a second, Asuka gets back to her feet! Asuka gets back to her feet! Io Shirai takes a super kick and a combination by Asuka. What the hell? In the cover. 1, 2. No, only a 2 count. Asuka just gets back to her feet, perhaps desperate, perhaps battling through the pain here as Io, oh, wait a second, charges towards her, but instead Asuka, look at this, Asuka catching her here in the Kimura. Asuka's got her here in the Kimura. Asuka's got the arm. Io Shirai, she's got nowhere to go. She's in the dead center of the ring. Perhaps this could be her moment. She worked over the arm earlier with the arm bar. Oh, but there you see, Io Shirai still gets out of it. But you gotta think that that arm of hers is incredibly weak here in this matchup. As Asuka, following the Kimura, looking to battle back here against the challenger. And there you see a massive overhand strike. As Io Shirai charges towards her and again connecting with the Meteora. And now Io Shirai a bit slow to get up to the top turnbuckle, or at least in comparison from earlier on in the matchup. Oh, where she went for that! But this time it connects! The moonsault! 1, 2! No, and only a 2 count again! Io Shirai almost just became the new Raw Women's Champion, and she can't believe that after all of this punishment, Asuka kicks out. As Io Shirai, oh wait a second, Io Shirai, what the hell? Io Shirai, wait a second! Io Shirai! Perhaps a bit of a shout out to her old rival here! Io Shirai has got Asuka in the disarm her! She's got her in the disarm her! Asuka! She's got nowhere to go! Io Shirai! She's holding on desperately! Here! Oh, but there you see Asuka gets out. Asuka gets out of the disarm her. Okay, Io Shirai, she was once a victim of that same maneuver down in NXT, where she went one-on-one with Becky Lynch, and she suffered a major loss at NXT TakeOver the End. However, right now, Asuka, with a submission hold of her own, the patented Asuka lock, she's got her here, Asuka, she taps her out. Asuka retains the Raw Women's title. However, you have to applaud Io Shirai because she put on an excellent performance alongside Asuka. The remaining and retaining champion, Asuka. Okay, Io Shirai. Hell, even I thought, when she hit that moonsault off the top, even I thought that we had a new champion. And yet, Asuka kicked out. Io Shirai, she went for the disarm her. And how poetic would it have been if she left here tonight with a Raw Women's title after using that disarm her, the same disarmer that she tapped out to at the last ever NXT pay-per-view event. However, nonetheless, Io Shirai is the one tapping out as Asuka celebrates the victory, as Asuka retains the Raw Women's Championship. What a fight by both competitors, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for both. Okay, then. Seth Rollins sure seems different. Okay, so I guess Seth Rollins has decided that he wants to start saving people. Okay. I'll be perfectly honest. I did not expect that. Did not necessarily expect all of that. But hey, Seth Rollins, he saves Braun Strowman from obscurity, okay? I'm all for people getting some jobs. However, I don't necessarily agree with the idea that Seth Rollins had to attack Alistair Black over on Smackdown in our main event of that show in order to prove his point that he saved Braun. But still.
Oh, WWE Universe, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your tag champs and feel the power. It's a new day.
However, ladies and gentlemen, even though I could be talking about Seth Rollins more and more, I want to talk about what's happening next. You see, this is a tag team matchup for the SmackDown tag team titles. However, this is going to be very different from the one we saw a few moments ago between the teams of Lashley and Rush versus, of course, British Strong Style. No, this one is an elimination tag team matchup. So that means if you get either pinned or submitted, you will be eliminated from this matchup. Not only that, but there is going to be nobody allowed at ringside. That's why Xavier Woods is not here alongside Big E and Kofi Kingston. That's also why, of course, AJ Styles and Finn Balor are not here at ringside. Although, to be fair, Finn Balor may be worried about his matchup following this one for the Intercontinental title. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, no one's allowed at ringside. This is an elimination match. It's for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and these two teams have been feuding back and forth, trading the SmackDown Tag Team titles back and forth for months. And tonight, it all comes to a head here at the King of the Ring event. Earlier on, it was British Strong Style successfully defending their Raw Tag Team titles. Tonight, we're going to find out if the New Day can successfully defend their SmackDown Tag Team Gold as the bell rings and we get into it here. Kicking us off with Luke Gallows and Big E. Obviously, the powerhouses of the respective duos with Kofi Kingston and Carl Anderson watching on in their respective corners. However, right now, Luke Gallows with a massive right hand. Big E barely looks affected. Oh, and there you see a punch to Gallows, and now it's Gallows who barely looks affected. And these two, heavy hitters are just taking these massive punches here. And neither man are willing to go down here. And now here we go. Gallows now trying to fight back here, and here we go. It seems as though the time for talk is over. The time for taunting each other is over. As the fight looks to carry on here with the back and forth punches. Here we go. The strikes now from Big E and Big LG right now. As Gallows, not looking too good, gets sent across the ring, ducks underneath. Does Big E and catches him there with a massive belly to belly. Big E with that raw strength on display. And you can hear Big E chanting New Day towards the crowd, and perhaps we will be hearing the New Day's music following this one. However, right now, Luke Gallows slams Big E down, and both men showcasing in the early moments of this matchup their raw power and strength, lifting each other up, slamming each other down, hitting each other as hard as they can with those cinder blocks for hands. However, right now, Gallows is waiting for Big E to get back to his feet, and he does. And now both men trading kicks to the stomach, and now it seems as though Big E looks to bring on the fists once again, looking to punch Luke Gallows, but instead it's Big E who gets crushed in the corner by Gallows, who decides to tag out to Carl Anderson. While Luke Gallows is the powerhouse of the group. Carl Anderson, he's a bit more of a high flyer, not necessarily known to go to the skies, however. Nonetheless, he is an expert competitor, nonetheless. He's much more tactical. He is much more intelligent, I would argue, when it comes to in-ring psychology. But right now, we could be seeing Big E's brain splatter all over the ring if Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have their way. Okay, these two teams have been brawling back and forth for months, all about the Smackdown Tag Team titles, however. Okay, I would argue that this is not personal. It's all about business, and it's all about seeing which team is the best on SmackDown. However, right now, Carl Anderson following a massive DDT. What a counter there from what could have been a spinebuster. As Carl Anderson and Gallows connect with a running senton leg drop combination as Luke Gallows with the too sweet, the universal sign, of course, of the club. But right now, Gallows picks Big E up, brings him back to his feet, and now he brings him back to the corner. As now Gallows and Anderson, what the... Oh, God! As Gallows and Anderson just launch Big E into the corner there. Kofi Kingston, you could see in your bottom right corner of the screen, desperately wanting a tag, but Carl Anderson takes this opportunity to continue the onslaught on Big E nonetheless. And now there you see, he takes down Kofi Kingston for good measure. Oh boy, a second, perhaps Big E, in that moment where Carl Anderson was focused on Kofi Kingston, perhaps Big E is back in the fight. Massive belly-to-belly connecting by the big man. Oh, well, there you see, he wants the tag, but Kofi Kingston is nowhere in sight. Carl Anderson charges towards Big E, throwing him across the ring here, and Anderson now with a punch, and another one for good measure, before making the tag out to Gallows. And now once again Big E is in some serious trouble here in this elimination tag team matchup. And perhaps this is a smart strategy by the club, particularly in this elimination style matchup. Sure, I always rave about how as a tag team you want to isolate your opponents. However, in this matchup in particular, I would argue that that should be the default strategy. Because you see, if you isolate one opponent, then it's going to be very easy to eliminate that competitor before you have the 2-on-1 advantage for the rest of the matchup. But right now, Big E, perhaps, is sick and tired of being targeted, as he's got something in mind here. He picks Luke Gallows up. He's up on the top turnbuckle. Carl Anderson watches on as the two big men go crashing down. And Big E, after this onslaught, finally makes the tag to Kofi Kingston. And Big E now finally gets an opportunity to take a break. As there you see Carl Anderson, unable to break his fall there, following a massive shot to the jaw, as Kofi Kingston there, leaping clothesline, connecting beautifully. And Kofi now follows it up with the boom drop on Gallows. In the cover, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count there. Gallows gets the shoulder up, pushing Kofi Kingston off here in this tag team matchup. However, there you see Kofi Kingston trying to fight back. Gallows, however, continuing the brawl. Gallows obviously has the power advantage between himself and Kofi Kingston. However, you cannot discount the heart and also the agility of Kofi Kingston. He is a veteran in this business. He has been with this company for such a long time. And right now, Kofi Kingston, he wants to continue his winning ways with the New Day. But Luke Gallows now, seemingly not allowing Kofi Kingston a chance, as Kofi charged towards him in the corner, and Gallows tosses him across the ring in response. And Gallows with a massive slam. Oh, and then just taking down Big E. As Gallows has Kofi Kingston down, and... wait a second, what the hell? Gallows seemingly having something in mind here, kicking him in the stomach. And Luke, he's got Big E in a powerbomb position. Oh my God! Gallows with a powerbomb. Oh, the trouble in paradise! Powerbomb on the apron. Or on the barricade, rather. Trouble in paradise by Kofi out of nowhere. He takes Carl Anderson off the apron. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count there. Trouble in paradise out of nowhere. And we almost just saw our first elimination. Yet Luke Gallows powers out. As Gallows now gets back to his feet. Kofi Kingston goes for a belly to back positioning. Kofi Kingston, however, oh wait a second, gets caught there with a double arm choke slam. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count there. Double-handed choke slam by Gallows, and yet Kofi Kingston gets the shoulder up. Gallows can barely believe it as he makes the tag out to Carl Anderson. Oh, wait a second. The moment he turns around to make the tag, Kofi Kingston sprints towards his corner to make the tag to Big E, who charges in! Big E charges in 1, 2, 3, and Big E's just been eliminated! Big E charges in and immediately gets met with an Anderson cutter. And Kofi Kingston, who just took a double-handed choke slam, who must still be in a lot of pain, is now in a 2-on-1 predicament. Well, Kofi Kingston, he's been an underdog throughout his entire career, but tonight he's really going to have to pull out an incredible underdog performance. Oh, as now there you see a kick right to the stomach. As Carl Anderson goes for another kick right to the gut. Oh, but this time he connects there. Oh, God, and a super kick. Kofi Kingston. Oh, there you see, gets stomped on the back. Kofi Kingston in a 2-on-1 predicament. And it's all up to Kofi, ladies and gentlemen, for the New Day to retain those Smackdown Tag Team titles. Sure. Oh, Gallows may be a bit weak. Sure, Anderson may be a bit weak. However, I would argue Kofi Kingston is looking way worse than both Anderson and Gallows. However, there you see Carl Anderson also recognizes that, so he decides to taunt the crowd. Carl Anderson decided to stroke his own ego. Oh, but there you see Kofi Kingston with a kick to the lower back. And wait a second, Kofi! 1, 2... No, and only a 2 count. Luke Gallows, I believe, breaking up the pinfall attempt. And Kofi Kingston with a punch out of pure frustration, trying to steal the victory. They're trying to steal the elimination, I should say. But Kofi Kingston desperately needs to eliminate Carl Anderson here tonight. Or at least he needs to eliminate Luke Gallows. He needs to turn this into a 1-on-1 predicament. And Kofi Kingston is fighting back hard with a Frankensteiner off the top. Kofi Kingston now. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Carl Anderson kicks out. Carl Anderson kicks out of the top rope. Frankensteiner. Kofi Kingston out of nowhere goes for the trouble in paradise. And Kofi Kingston just gets launched into the corner. And as you just saw, he collapses. As Anderson stares across the ring, making the tag to Luke Gallows. Oh, and there you see Gallows, however, gets out of the way. Gallows gets out of the way of that running clothesline, but Gallows there uses his strength to take him down. As Luke with a kick to the back, but Kofi Kingston, I don't know what's gotten into him. He just gets up. He takes a massive kick to the spine, and he just gets back to his feet. Kofi Kingston feeling the adrenaline, oh my God. Kofi feels the adrenaline before feeling that gust of wind as he flies into the air before crashing down onto the mat. as Gallows and Anderson connect with the Magic Killer. 1, 2, 3, and Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Club are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And ladies and gentlemen, they have just proven without a shadow of a doubt how incredible they are as a duo. Okay, not suffering a single elimination throughout the entire course of this matchup, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson pulled off the seemingly impossible. Kofi Kingston, he felt those waves of impossibility coursing through his veins as he went on in a 2-on-1 predicament. Perhaps he could have retained those SmackDown Tag Team titles on behalf of himself and Big E and Xavier Woods. However, sadly, Kofi Kingston was unable to get the job done. However, even though Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, you've got to wonder if Finn Balor, the leader of the club, can leave here tonight as the new Intercontinental Champion. It's Balor versus McIntyre, and I can't wait to see what happens in a few moments. Of course, earlier tonight, Finn Balor promised the world that the club will once again rise to the top of the WWE, and perhaps Finn Balor will be the king, as he is appropriately dressed for. Of course, this is the King of the Ring pay-per-view event. I mentioned it before, but this show in particular is very much linked to the club. Okay, Finn Balor a few years ago, he won the King of the Ring tournament before promptly beating Alistair Black for the World Heavyweight title via the help of his newfound club. And then, of course, last year, it was Finn Balor looking to retain his Universal title against the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. What happened? Finn Balor, he got AJ Styles to run in and cause a disqualification, leading to Finn Balor keeping his championship. Of course, AJ Styles, even though he was the newest member of the club, he got his comeuppance at the very next show. But, ladies and gentlemen, the club has been very much linked to this event. And tonight, Finn Balor looks to link the club to the King of the Ring pay-per-view once again by rising to the top of SmackDown with the SmackDown Tag Team titles around the waists of Gallows and Anderson. And of course, the Intercontinental title wrapped around the waist of that man, the leader of the club, Finn Balor. And it seems as though AJ Styles has decided to make his way down to ringside alongside Finn Balor in support. Of course, AJ Styles, he has his own history with Drew McIntyre. On the last episode of SmackDown, Drew McIntyre suffered a major loss to AJ Styles to kick off that matchup. So you have to think, if Finn Balor, ladies and gentlemen, is unsuccessful in this attempt at earning himself the Intercontinental title, well then maybe AJ Styles may have a case for leaving our next show or a show in the future with the Intercontinental title wrapped around his waist in his own match against McIntyre. However, first we gotta get through this one. We've gotta see if Finn Balor can do it, as he has already beaten Drew McIntyre in the past. In fact, it was Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre a few episodes of SmackDown ago in a one-on-one brawl. If Finn Balor won, well then he would be earning himself an opportunity for the IC title. And as you can probably tell, Finn Balor has beaten Drew McIntyre before, and now all he has to do is he's got to do it again tonight. It's Drew McIntyre as the Intercontinental Champion, making his way to the ring. He wants to do everything he can to keep that title, but perhaps tonight, with AJ Styles watching at ringside, and of course, with the danger of Finn Balor's own moveset, maybe Drew McIntyre will not be able to hold on to that title for too long. We're gonna have to find out, ladies and gentlemen. This is a main event worthy matchup here And we're going to be seeing it in a few moments. It's all about the Intercontinental Championship. There you see the referee holding up that prestigious gold. And I can't wait to see if Finn Balor can somehow gain that title, or if Drew McIntyre can beat Finn Balor here tonight. But Balor out of nowhere charges towards McIntyre. And Drew, oh wait, I'm going for a back suplex there, and Finn Balor showing off the athleticism. As Balor, here we go, immediately with the strikes, immediately charging towards the champion. He knows that he can beat Drew McIntyre, and tonight, perhaps he's looking to beat him again as he throws him to the outside. Drew McIntyre, however, in the danger zone, as there you see Finn Balor flies to the outside. And already this matchup has kicked off in a high gear, as Finn Balor, the leader of the club, looks to replicate his success from a few episodes ago. Drew McIntyre, however, oh god, once again in the drop zone, as Balor flies through the air with a drop kick. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Balor already on a roll here tonight, with Drew McIntyre not looking too good. And if Finn Balor can continue on with this punishment, then maybe Drew McIntyre will suffer another major loss to the leader of the club. As Balor now, goes for a kick. Instead, Drew McIntyre catches it. However, there you see Balor ducks underneath the clothesline. Okay, I mentioned earlier on the idea of AJ Styles getting his own shot at the Intercontinental title. However, Finn Balor is making a solid case for why AJ Styles will not be able to earn himself that opportunity, as he charges towards him, but instead of back elbow by McIntyre. And the big man, oh my god, out of nowhere! Claymore kick out of nowhere! Claymore kick out of nowhere! 1, 2! No, and only a 2 count! Finn Balor kicked off this matchup by hitting all of these explosive maneuvers. Drew McIntyre, with one of his only few moves that we've seen thus far in this matchup, deciding to pull out the big guns immediately with a massive claymore, nearly taking Finn's head off. However, Finn Balor was able to reattach himself, recompose, and kick out at 2. As Balor, there you see, sending Drew McIntyre to the outside, as Finn Balor now looks down. Following this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, as Balor looks to earn himself that Intercontinental title. Finn Balor, there you see, perhaps trying to keep Drew McIntyre away from him. Perhaps trying to keep Drew McIntyre on the ground. Okay, he wants to create some separation. He wants to get some breathing room. Not a bad strategy after taking a brutal Claymore kick to the face. However, as Finn Balor taunts Drew McIntyre, I'll get back to what I was saying. Following this matchup, we'll be hearing from the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Bianca Belair. Oh, however, right now, Finn Balor, he's not worried about Bianca Belair. No, he's worried about the Intercontinental title, as Drew McIntyre gets sent across the ring, and then a brutal drop kick right into the turnbuckles. And the cover now. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. And even though I may not like Finn Balor, I may not like his cowardism that we've seen thus far in the last few moments, I will say this. That drop kick, oh god, and then that backstabber just shows you how incredible he is in the ring. Okay, he's a tremendous athlete here in the WWE. Finn Balor, I would argue he's perhaps one of the best wrestlers we have on Smackdown. However, Finn Balor is going to have to pull out everything in his arsenal to get the job done against McIntyre. As McIntyre, wait a second, 1, 2, no, only a 2 count. Finn Balor almost stealing the victory there. Oh, and there you see, it's Balor with an overhand punch and out a few strikes. And Drew McIntyre, sure, he may have hit that 1 Claymore kick, but other than that, he hasn't necessarily been able to do anything here tonight. As Finn Balor, oh, well, look at that, Finn Balor, perhaps trying to play with the mind of Drew McIntyre. Okay, trying to play these mind games, taunting the champion. Continuously taunting Drew McIntyre here. Oh, now wait a second, Drew McIntyre Okay, you do not want to piss off a big man like McIntyre, or perhaps that's part of Balor's game plan. I'm not entirely sure. What I do know is this. Finn Balor launches him across the ring. Massive chop to the chest, and then a punch for good measure. Oh, however, there you see Drew McIntyre strikes back with a brutal punch. I believe Finn Balor may have underestimated, oh God, his own strength as he went to lift up McIntyre, but Drew showcasing his own raw power there, launching him across the ring and taking him down hard with the belly-to-belly. Oh, but wait a second. It's Finn Balor now, who once again uses his size to his advantage here. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Flying over the top rope, looking to connect with a beautiful pinfall victory. However, even though he connected with the pinfall, there was no victory to be had with that roll-up attempt. Constantly trying to steal the victory. As now, oh, wait a second. Finn Balor, there you see. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count again, trying to steal the victory. Oh, and there you see McIntyre with a brutal punch to the stomach with a kick for good measure. Oh, as McIntyre there with a massive forearm. These two men are going back and forth here tonight as Drew McIntyre launches Finn Balor across the ring. Perhaps he's got something in mind. McIntyre hasn't been able to do anything here tonight except for that massive Claymore kick. But Finn Balor, perhaps in a dangerous predicament here. Perhaps in a dangerous predicament. But McIntyre falls! Just like AJ Styles on Smackdown. Finn Balor counters with a Hurricane Rana off the top. And perhaps Finn Balor will be able to take down Drew McIntyre, as now he's got him up. 1916 connecting. 1916. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Finn Balor has put away some of the top names here in the WWE with that 1916. Okay, that 1916 has almost become mythic in the fact that it's almost unkick-outable, and yet Drew McIntyre kicks out of the unkick-outable. Drew McIntyre kicks out of the 1916, and I don't think anybody in the audience can believe it. Oh, as there you see, however, Finn Balor looking to strike back here against McIntyre. Massive kick right to the gut. McIntyre can't believe it. McIntyre has been spending this entire matchup on the offensive side with Drew McIntyre barely able to defend himself. Oh, and it seems as though Finn Balor has got something in mind as he flies to the outside. Finn Balor once again with the dive to the outside, and McIntyre once again put in a position to take a lot of punishment. But will it be enough? 1, 2, and it's not. As Drew McIntyre uses his power to push Finn Balor off of him to get the shoulders up. However, right now, perhaps Finn Balor could be signaling for the beginning of the end here from the corner. Balor, oh, goes for a chop. Drew McIntyre, wait a second. Finn Balor almost about to take a massive future shock DDT, but Finn Balor flips out of it. Expertly done there by the always athletic Finn Balor. As McIntyre now not looking too good. McIntyre, he went to go for that future shock DDT, and if he were to hit that future shock DDT, well then maybe he would have retained his title. But Finn Balor, nonetheless, he got out of the predicament, and now he is once again bringing on the punishment here, charging towards him, goes for a chop, but instead a chop is countered with another, this time by McIntyre, and the big man. Oh, wait a second. He's got something in mind here. He's got Finn Balor. Oh my God! McIntyre just crunching the spine of Finn Balor. Oh, there you see. Finn Balor ducks underneath. Oh, but Drew McIntyre counters. McIntyre with a brutal, oh, wait a second, brutal powerbomb! And then perhaps an even more brutal 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, perhaps an even more brutal Future Shock DDT. And yet Drew McIntyre does not keep Finn Balor down. However, perhaps that Future Shock DDT is exactly what McIntyre needed to get back into this matchup, as he has him set up here picture perfectly, but he moves out of the way. He goes for the Claymore, but Finn Balor using his agility to quickly get out of the way. Drew McIntyre does not feel the satisfying crunch of Balor's skull against his boot, but right now, Drew McIntyre is still fighting back, and Finn Balor is not looking too good. As Balor, turns around and immediately strikes him down there with a punch right to the jaw. However, McIntyre nearly decapitating his opponent there with a clothesline. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Massive lariat, however, only a 2 count indeed. As McIntyre is finally getting himself an opportunity to make a bit of a comeback here against Balor, who the entire matchup has been absolutely beating the hell out of McIntyre. It's like, wait a second, Balor gets up, Balor immediately gets up and then a sling blade. Finn Balor is already taken so much punishment before just immediately charging Drew McIntyre with a duo of running forearm strikes and a sling blade for good measure. As now, McIntyre, there you see with a punch right to the back by Balor. And then a kick right to the back of the leg. And Finn Balor now turns around into a Claymore! 1, 2, 3! And Drew McIntyre successfully retains the Intercontinental title. Earlier on, we saw an out-of-nowhere Claymore kick, and then it seems as though Drew McIntyre decided to bring that unpredictability of the Claymore kick back out as he kicks him there, once again, taking Balor down. However, Finn Balor, I would argue, even though throughout that performance perhaps he was a bit too cocky, a bit too arrogant in places, I would argue he put on a hell of a matchup. Okay, hitting Drew McIntyre with that seemingly unkick-outable 1916, and McIntyre showcasing his own heart, his own will, his own inner strength as he kicks out of the 1916 before making a massive comeback so that he could retain the Intercontinental title. What a victory for Drew McIntyre after a month full of losses. Okay, losing to the likes of AJ Styles and then, of course, previously Finn Balor. McIntyre finally earns himself that victory against Balor and finally has a one-up on the leader of the club, with Drew McIntyre leaving here tonight as the champion. Over there you see AJ Styles looking down at the leader of the club, who finally gets back to his feet after being nearly knocked out by the champion. And you gotta think AJ Styles, after that massive loss by Finn Balor, you gotta be thinking, AJ Styles, what's going through his mind right now? As AJ Styles and Finn Balor stare each other down, and now there you see AJ Styles with the universal sign of the club with the 2 sweets. Because even though Finn Balor may have lost his matchup, he still has the support of Gallows, Anderson, and AJ. As AJ Styles realizes that tonight, even though it may not be Balor's night, perhaps the club will rise again. And wait a second! AJ Styles! Oh my god! AJ Styles with the Styles Clash! AJ Styles with the Styles Clash on Finn Balor! AJ, what the hell? AJ's got the chair! AJ's got the steel chair! Oh god, and AJ! Right to the lower spine! And AJ Styles, what the hell is he doing? AJ Styles! Over and over again against Finn And oh, well, there you see Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson looking to break up this attack here. AJ Styles! What in the hell is he doing? As Balor looks across the ring at AJ, realizing that he now has the support of Gallows and Anderson here to protect him like they always do. And perhaps AJ Styles may have bitten off more than he can chew here. Even with the steel chair, I don't know if he can take on all three of them. As Finn Balor nods his head in approval. Oh, wait a second! Gallows with a double-handed choke slam! Gallows slams Balor down, and there you see AJ staring across at Anderson and Gallows! Oh, and AJ with the steel chair again! What in the hell is going on? That's Balor, oh my god! And oh god, Gallows and Anderson. Oh god, now they have their own steel chairs. And oh, come on! Finn Balor, oh god, getting met with the, oh god, the brutality of these steel chair shots! Oh, and again! As Gallows, oh my god, slams the chair into the body of Balor. Balor brought Gallows and Anderson into the WWE. He formed the club with Gallows and Anderson, making their debut here in the WWE by his side as Gallows and Anderson have turned their back on the leader of the club. As AJ with another Styles Clash connecting. And well, there you see the universal sign of the club again, the too sweet hand gesture by AJ Styles as Gallows and Anderson look across at AJ. What the hell did we just see? Finn Balor is now unconscious in the middle of the ring, and I have no idea what to make of the situation. Well, there you see AJ. I'm not too sure what to make of this. Finn Balor has just been attacked by the club. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after an entire night of just non-stop surprises, after Seth Rollins has decided to save everybody, after the breakdown of the club a few moments ago, it's now time to turn our attention over to this next matchup here. It's a Falls Count Anywhere matchup for a shot at the Universal Championship. Adam Cole and Kevin Owens know that this is not just about the Universal title. This is Hold on, wait a second. I'm being told something's happening. Something's happening back there. What the hell? Kevin Owens! Kevin Owens backstage! Okay, after all the non-stop surprises, it seems as though we're gonna have another right now with the action in this Falls Count Anywhere match kicking off backstage. Okay, I didn't even get the opportunity to talk about Bianca Belair before apparently Adam Cole and Kevin Owens decide to just completely start brawling in the locker room. Of course, you gotta think Brock Lesnar's watching this one. This is, for a shot at the Universal title, the title in which Brock Lesnar currently holds, the title in which Brock Lesnar beat Adam Cole for. Oh my god! Super kick into the locker as the back of Kevin's skull gets met with that locker backstage. This is a Falls Count Anywhere matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Anything goes. You win via pinfall or submission anywhere, as per the Falls Count Anywhere name of the matchup, as Adam Cole launches Kevin Owens onto that hard concrete floor backstage. As now Adam Cole, he's got Kevin Owens. Okay, the brawl is seemingly starting backstage. I'm not entirely sure if the match has started yet or not. I don't see any referee official backstage. What I do know is this, however: Adam Cole and Kevin Owens are not only looking to tear each other apart, but perhaps the entire backstage area. With Adam Cole, I believe, being attacked by Kevin Owens backstage. However, right now, Adam Cole, he is definitely fighting back, but Kevin Owens now with a trifecta of elbows, those sharp elbows, right into the stomach of the former Universal Champion, as the former WWE Champion, Kevin Owens, bounces his skull right there off the soda machine. However, right now, Kevin Owens perhaps is now looking to drag Adam Cole back into the arena. I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps he's just looking for a weapon and decided that that brick wall was a good enough of a weapon. As Kevin Owens now, right to the back there, the lower back of Adam Cole. Okay, I didn't get the chance to talk about Bianca Belair. I haven't been able to break down the club situation. I haven't been able to say anything because these two, every time I go to say something, Adam Cole or Kevin Owens decide to interrupt me with another showcase of violence, as these two are now going back and forth here with the strikes before, oh god, Adam Cole gets launched over into the interview space. As Kevin Owens picks up Cole now, and Adam, oh god, feels his skull once again bounce off. This time the steel against that wall. As Kevin Owens now, oh come on. Kevin Owens now, he's got himself some more steel here, this time in the form of a steel chair. Okay, we just saw, AJ Styles and the rest of the club use a steel chair on Finn Balor, but now Kevin Owens is deciding to use that steel chair on the leader of the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole. Of course, later on tonight, another member of the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, will be in action against Johnny Gargano to see who will be leaving here tonight as the King of the Ring. But right now, Adam Cole is being dragged, I believe. There you see, onto the stage before dropping down hard on the ramp. And now over there you see an official. As Kevin Owens continues this beatdown, there you see the referee, the designated referee for this matchup. Finally, here tonight on the ramp alongside Kevin Owens and Adam Cole. As Kevin Owens now seemingly having something in mind, continuing with the strikes. But Adam Cole now trying to fight back here as the crowd watch on, no longer watching on the Titantron with the feed backstage. But now Adam Cole and Kevin Owens are beating the hell out of each other right here in the arena on the ramp. As Kevin Owens gets a massive kick to the gut. And now Adam Cole turns him around with a massive punch. However, now the fight continues and Kevin Owens now, this brutal competitor here, he ran SmackDown for nearly a year for a reason. He was the WWE and Intercontinental Champion for a good reason. And perhaps that is the reason. With a lack of care about his opponent's well-being, Kevin Owens hits a brutal kick right to the skull of Adam Cole. However, right now, Kevin Owens... Oh, wait a second. Seemingly having something in mind here. Kevin Owens has him in a powerbomb position. Adam Cole not looking too good. Kevin Owens... Oh! Kevin Owens dropping Adam Cole on the concrete, the back of his head landing on the steel of the ramp. Adam Cole might already be unconscious. However, thankfully enough, as you just saw, he got the opportunity to roll over onto his stomach, so he's still breathing. But Kevin Owens, nonetheless, rolls him over. And now with the pinfall, 1, 2... No, and Adam Cole kicks out! Adam Cole kicking out, following a brutal powerbomb, following an attack that has spread from backstage out to the arena as Kevin Owens there with another power bomb. Kevin Owens with another ruthless display of his pure frustrations, his pure brutality, his sick and demented mind, as now he's decided to bring out the hardware. Kevin Owens sets up the table on the outside, seemingly having something in mind, but wait a second, Adam Cole! As Kevin Owens was walking around, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Cole decided to sprint to the outside, diving down onto Kevin Owens. As now there you see Adam Cole finally getting the opportunity to lay in a few good shots, with that suicide dive perhaps being the turning point. As Adam Cole now goes underneath the ring, we've already seen a plethora of weapons throughout the entire course of this night, let alone this matchup. As now Adam Cole looks to, well, bring out that steel chair, looks to reintroduce the audience to that steel chair. Oh, as he looks to introduce Kevin Owens. Oh, God, to that steel chair. As he wails on him over and over again. Okay, the solid steel chair meeting flesh and bone there. With Adam Cole, the leader of the Undisputed Era, now finally getting in a few good shots, finally looking to bring out some punishment here. As I mentioned before, this feud, ladies and gentlemen, was all too personal before the Universal title stipulation was even introduced. Okay, Brock Lesnar's watching this one, but I don't think Adam Cole really cares about Brock Lesnar right now. I think he just cares about punishing Kevin Owens. As now, Kevin Owens gets dropped down there. in the cover now. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count, dropping him on the top of his head there. With the brain buster connecting, perhaps rattling the brain of Kevin Owens. As Adam Cole, of course, he's had some success here at the King of the Ring event last year, winning the King of the Ring tournament before kicking off this massive feud, this faction war between the Undisputed Era and the Club, who were both occupying Raw at the time. However, right now, Kevin Owens, oh God, launches himself towards Adam Cole. As now Kevin Owens, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, crushing Adam Cole in the corner, and yet Adam Cole still kicks out. He is a very different man than he was the last time he was at the King of the Ring pay-per-view event. However, we're going to find out if he can earn himself a victory, just like how he won the King of the Ring tournament last year. However, right now, Adam Cole with a massive shot to the face. Both men, going for a strike there. Adam Cole, however, charging back, and it seems as though now this has turned into a back and forth fight once again. Okay, just like with Gargano and Andrade, just like with Kyle and Nakamura, it is a back and forth series of strikes perhaps as he goes low, and he connects with the last shot! Last shot there to the back of the skull. 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count, getting the shoulder up. And Adam Cole is in shock. Perhaps it's his system that has been shocked indeed after that massive shot to the back of the head. As Adam Cole now picks up Kevin Owens. He's got something in mind here. But instead, it's Kevin Owens who strikes back hard. Oh, and there you see a massive punch for good measure by Adam Cole, who goes after Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, he is a dangerous man. However, Adam Cole, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen this hardcore competitor shine through within Adam Cole. Okay, Cole is no stranger to these types of absolutely destructive brawls. Look at his match with Finn Balor at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. However, right now, Adam Cole is going to have to bring that terrifying mindset into this matchup, because Kevin Owens, by default, he doesn't just bring out this hardcore competitor. He doesn't just bring out this brutality whenever he needs it. No, this is Kevin Owens normally. This sick and twisted and demented man, Kevin Owens is like this all the time. However, Kevin Owens right now with a massive punch to Adam Cole. And wait a second. I think Kevin Owens just realized. Oh God, powerbomb! Kevin Owens with a brutal powerbomb through the table, off the apron, onto Adam Cole, and Cole just collapses. And you can hear the crowd chanting their appreciation for seeing such violence. However, Kevin Owens right now, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Only 1 second away from going to SummerSlam, and I have no idea how Adam Cole got the shoulder up. Kevin Owens with a brutal powerbomb. And I know I keep mentioning the word brutal a lot, but when you look at Kevin Owens and his fighting style, that is absolutely how you can describe it. And it seems as though now he has decided to bring out a ladder. Okay, his shot at fighting Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, it's not hanging above the ring. But it seems as though Kevin Owens nonetheless has decided to bring out a ladder. And you've got to think that sick and twisted mind of Kevin Owens must be racing right now. I have no idea what the hell he could be thinking. What I do know is this, though. Adam Cole, he finally gets back to his feet and is then launched into the barricade. As Kevin Owens continues the onslaught, Adam Cole, he's trying to fight back. He's trying to battle through endure the pain, but he is not given an opportunity to do so as Kevin Owens bounces him face first off the barricade. As Kevin Owens now picks up Adam Cole. I'm not entirely sure what he has in mind, but he is indeed dragging him towards that ladder. Or perhaps not, as he instead turns his attention once again to the barricade by the ramp there. The same ramp that he used to nearly concuss Adam Cole a few moments ago. But Adam Cole, nonetheless, is still fighting. Adam Cole with a massive super kick. Kicking him in the knee, dropping him down before a kick to the face, and it seems as though now... Okay, we've already seen one table get introduced in this Falls Count Anywhere matchup. Why not another? As Adam Cole has the table, and he props it up here. As Cole now... Oh, there you see, goes for a forearm. Oh, but instead, he counters with a forearm in his own right. Kevin Owens and Adam Cole now going back and forth here. Oh! And there you see another shot by Cole. Oh, he goes for an enziguri. Nobody home. Drops down on the metal. Oh my God! And now once again feels the combination of the steel and concrete. As Kevin Owens, my God, drops Adam Cole there. And now, oh, come on. He's not done yet. Of course, this rivalry is not just about the Universal title. No, it's been personal for a while, as I mentioned earlier on. And Kevin Owens now, oh, wait a second, perhaps he could be thinking about putting Adam Cole down permanently as he stares across at Cole. And oh God, Kevin Owens climbs up to the top. However, thankfully, thankfully, perhaps for the sake of his career, Adam Cole gets off the table. And now, both men are battling on top of the ladder. Oh, as now there you see Adam Cole with a shot. Kevin Owens, however, with a shot in response. Just like earlier on, these two men are going back and forth with these brutal strikes. As Adam Cole now has... Oh, God. As Adam Cole! Adam Cole! Adam Cole with a superplex off the ladder through a table. And oh my God, there you see in slow motion, both men go crashing down. Admittedly, Kevin Owens got the full brunt of the table, but Kevin Owens and Adam Cole must both be in some serious pain here tonight. 1, 2, no, and Kevin Owens! Adam Cole with a superplex off the ladder through a table, and it's still not enough! What does Adam Cole need to do? He hit him with the last shot. He hit him with the superplex through the table off the freaking ladder. However, perhaps Kevin Owens is thinking the same thing. What can Kevin Owens do to put Adam Cole down? Of course, Kevin Owens has been hitting with power bombs after power bombs onto the concrete through a table in his own right. Neither man willing to quit. Both men know how important this matchup is, not only to their careers, but also to their own personal accomplishments. They both want to win. They both want to say that they can beat the other. As Kevin Owens, gets back to his feet. Cole charges towards Owens. He gets caught. 1, 2. No, and Adam Cole kicks out. Kevin Owens connects with the pop-up powerbomb. Adam Cole charges towards Owens, and Kevin, perhaps with this last gasp, throwing him into the air, catching him with the pop-up powerbomb, and yet Adam Cole gets back to his feet after a remarkable kick out. As now there you see Kevin Owens once again challenging Adam Cole, but Cole telling Kevin Owens exactly what he thinks. Oh, now it seems as though Owens has decided that the time for talk is over. After so much destruction, after so much brutality, these two men are now going back and forth here, shot for shot. They're exhausted, they're in pain, but they're still freaking going. This brawl that started backstage, that has been brought out to the arena, and now, ladies and gentlemen, is back in the middle of the ring. And oh, wait a second, Adam Cole charges towards Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens moves out of the way here, throwing him across the ring in the corner. As Owens with a punch right to the stomach. Adam Cole, however, moving out of the way. Adam Cole, however, with a kick right to the leg. Kevin Owens in perfect position for a Panama Sunrise. But Cole, there you see, slow to get up. He's exhausted. He's in pain. But will that split second be enough? 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole gets the job done. My God. What a fight we just witnessed. Kevin Owens and Adam Cole starting this brawl backstage before spilling out to the arena. Adam Cole, his body falling down on the concrete and on the steel of the ramp, and yet he still fights back. Adam Cole hits a last shot on Kevin Owens, and Owens fights back. These two, both men, going through tables over and over again. Of course, there you see Adam Cole and Kevin Owens outside the ring. Kevin Owens crashing through a table off the ladder. And yet, Kevin Owens still had one more big move left in the tank, the pop-up powerbomb. Yet Adam Cole kicks out to go on and win this matchup with the Panama Sunrise. And of course, as you just heard, Adam Cole, Bay Bay chants echoing throughout the arena. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, as Adam Cole celebrates, he knows that his destiny lies at SummerSlam as he looks to take home the Universal title. But coming up next, it's a matchup for the WWE Championship as the Fiend, this unstoppable monster, takes on Alistair Black. And I have to say it. I have to say this. Alistair Black, even though he is the WWE Champion, even though he has taken on the likes of Johnny Gargano, Kevin Owens, and The Undertaker, Alistair Black, even though he's beaten all those men, I would argue he is still walking into this as the underdog, which is a rare thing for Alistair Black. However, Alistair Black, he's never met a being, because I don't even want to say man, this monster, this destroyer. He has never met anything like the Fiend. The Fiend has demolished so many in his path. He has proven to be an undeniable, unstoppable, and unkillable monster. And even though I'm a big fan of Alistair Black, a part of me truly believes that his reign as WWE Champion is about to come to an end. And well, there you see him. The monster that could leave here tonight as the WWE Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Fiend. the same Fiend that retired The Undertaker. The Undertaker, of course, a man that the WWE Champion Alistair Black truly respects. He wants to devote his entire career to becoming the next phenom of the WWE because of his respect for The Undertaker. Alistair Black, he wants to become the new protector of the WWE now that The Undertaker is gone. And the reason why The Undertaker is gone is because of this. The Fiend. Okay, I concluded WrestleMania by calling The Fiend the next top monster of WWE. And tonight, The Fiend may leave here tonight as the definitive top monster. The Fiend could leave. The Fiend could leave as WWE champion. Think about the path of destruction The Fiend has had over the past year. Think about that. And now imagine The Fiend as the WWE champion. Following tonight's matchup, that is a world that we could be we may be living in. Okay, nobody has been able to stop The Fiend. Nobody has been able to pin The Fiend. Nobody can take on The Fiend and win. The Fiend has gone on against everybody. Everybody that The Fiend has faced off against has been put down, ladies and gentlemen. Alistair Black, he has to somehow do the impossible. He has to survive The Fiend, and The Fiend right out of the gate! As Abby's monster takes down Alistair Black with a massive back suplex. As now the Fiend, oh my god! Dropping Black face first on the bottom turnbuckle, and Alistair Black doesn't know where he is right now, as the Fiend's terrifying presence is absolutely destroying Alistair Black here, and the Fiend again launching Black across the ring. This is the King of the Ring pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Following this one, it will be the finals for the King of the Ring tournament. But right now, the Fiend is concerned about the WWE title, the richest prize here in the WWE. And you have to think, if the Fiend were to somehow win the WWE title, if you were to win the King of the Ring tournament, you are guaranteed a shot at either the WWE or Universal title. So, if the Fiend were to win, you have to think that the winner of the King of the Ring tournament will go on to face off against either Brock Lesnar or the Fiend at SummerSlam. My god, who do you choose? You'd have to choose Brock Lesnar. I would assume as the Fiend. Continues this onslaught. Alistair Black, I don't think he knows where he is right now. He hasn't been able to hit a single shot this entire matchup, as the Fiend has been dominating Alistair Black. As Black, there you see, gets thrown across the ring. No, wait a second, Alistair Black finally getting in a shot. A back elbow. And now a few strikes to the Fiend. Oh god, but there you see, the Fiend catching the hand. The Fiend just catching the hand before just smashing his face into Black. As now the Fiend launches him, and oh my god, another headbutt. My god, the Fiend is absolutely demolishing Black right now, as Black gets crushed in the corner. As the Fiend looks on at Alistair Black. Black, in my opinion, is one of the best competitors we have here in the WWE, and he is being victimized by the Fiend with a sister Abigail to the WWE Champion. As the Fiend, there you see just aggressively stomping here in the corner, waiting for Black to get back to his feet, and he does. As the Fiend, oh wait a second, goes for a maneuver. Alistair Black with a kick to the gut! Kick to the gut! Now Black Mass! Black Mass! One! No! One count. I'm sorry to be screaming in your ear, ladies and gentlemen, but the Fiend just took a Black Mass to the face. His head nearly flying into the 4th row, and Black unable to keep him down for even a 2 count. As Alistair now is finally getting in some shots. Alistair Black, ladies and gentlemen, with that Black Mass, may have found an opening. He may have found an opening here against the Fiend. As the Fiend grabs the leg. The Fiend grabs the leg, and then a chop to the chest before launching him there. As the Fiend looks down at Alistair. The Fiend looks down at the WWE Champion. And if you're just tuning in, it is Alistair Black who is walking in as the top champion here in the WWE, as the Fiend is the challenger. And yet the Fiend has been destroying Alistair Black this entire time, but now Alistair is finally getting in those shots, those strikes. 1. No, and again, only a 1 count. Those brutal strikes and then ending with that knee. Okay, Alistair Black is one of the best strikers we have here in the WWE, and we have been watching that throughout his entire career as the Fiend sends him to the outside. As the Fiend in the middle of the ring, you don't know what this man is thinking, this monster is thinking. What I do know is this. Alistair Black gets back to his feet, and I don't know if this is the smart play by Alistair Black. Okay, he wants to protect the world of the evils here tonight. He wants to protect the world of evil, and the Fiend is perhaps the most demented creature we have ever seen here in the WWE, as I believe the Fiend went for a choke slam of some kind, yet it's Alistair Black who drops him down. And I will say this, Alistair Black, following that Black Mass, has been getting in a few good shots here tonight, as the Fiend gets back to his feet, moves out of the way, but now there you see Alistair Black with those back elbows, and Alistair now, perhaps, continuing on the punishment with the strikes with the massive meteora to the face. As Alistair Black now, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count, the Fiend getting the shoulder up. The Fiend gets the shoulder up as Alistair Black looks down at his challenger. The Fiend, I will admit, not looking too great. Okay, the last time we've seen anybody take on the Fiend and put up as good of a fight as Alistair Black has been, of course, that match between the Fiend and The Undertaker at WrestleMania inside the confines of the Hell in a Cell. However, right now, the Fiend strikes down Alistair Black, and there you see, out of nowhere with the Sister Abigail, and just like that, the Fiend regains control. As the Fiend in the corner charges towards him again with that psychotic and dangerous look. As the Fiend waits for Black to get up, this could be the beginning of the end here with a massive punch to the face, but Alistair Black drops to a knee and gets back to his feet. The Fiend, however, once again with a punch, and once again, Black gets back up. Oh no, there you see a chop. And the Fiend now, over and over again, trying to rip apart Alistair Black. As the Fiend now gets a kick to the gut, and another one for good measure. As Alistair Black, with the Black Mass out of nowhere! I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but okay, Alistair Black, I believe, hitting another Black Mass. 1, 2, 3. He's got it. Alistair Black. Alistair Black has done it. Alistair Black just beat the Fiend. Alistair Black just beat the unbeatable. I don't know what Alistair Black is still the WWE champ. Alistair Black just survived the Fiend. Alistair Black has just done what nobody else has been able to do. He beat the Fiend, and Alistair is still WWE champion. I don't know what to say after watching that. Okay, we're about to move into our main event here, following a massive victory by Alistair Black, as Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano look to wage war here in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. I don't know what to say. Okay, like I said, I am in absolute shock that Alistair Black just beat the Fiend, but now I have to turn my attention over to this matchup, and it's going to be hard to do so. Okay, we've never seen anybody beat the Fiend before, but right now, we're going to see who will leave here tonight with their own victory and with their own shot at making history. Last year, the leader of the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, won the King of the Ring tournament. Tonight, another member of the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, is looking to earn his shot. Johnny Gargano, however, he has promised to the world that there will be nothing that stops him from leaving here tonight with a chance at becoming a top champion. Okay, Johnny Gargano, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, after his match against Andrade, Cien Almas may not be 100%, but you can say the same thing about Kyle O'Reilly following his match with Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay, both of these men realize how big this matchup is, and you have to think, Adam Cole, he's got his shot at SummerSlam. He will be going on to fight against Brock Lesnar for the Universal title, as we saw following that Falls Count Anywhere match a few moments ago. So you gotta think, if Kyle O'Reilly were to somehow win this matchup, then maybe he could go on and beat Alistair Black somehow. He could go on and fight Alistair Black. We could see Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole by the end of SummerSlam with the WWE and Universal titles. However, Johnny Gargano, you know just how desperately he wants to be a top champion. You know how desperately Johnny Gargano wants a title wrapped around his waist. He wants to leave here tonight, not only as the King of the Ring, but also as the #1 contender. This is your main event of the evening. This is a dream match for many. Kyle O'Reilly versus Johnny Gargano. Admittedly, neither man are 100% walking in to this matchup, this main event. But what I do know is this: either way, it should be a good one. As you can see, both men, the intensity all over their faces. They know how important this matchup is. They know that this is what the entire event has been building towards. Johnny Gargano, he had to beat AJ Styles and Andrade Cien Almas to get here. Kyle O'Reilly, he had to beat Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura to get here. This is the main event of the evening. These two incredibly hard-hitting and yet submission specialists are looking to beat the hell out of each other here in this matchup. As Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano once again back with the lockup here. Okay, I've said it before and I'll say it right now. Johnny Gargano, in my opinion, is one of the best we have here in the WWE. However, Kyle O'Reilly, perhaps underrated here in the WWE as being an incredible performer. Johnny Gargano, he desperately wants to be the top champion. Kyle O'Reilly, he desperately wants to prove himself. Both men are here tonight with something on the line. Their pride, their ego, and their desperate need to showcase to the world why they are here in the WWE, the top professional wrestling company on the planet, as Kyle O'Reilly connects with a back suplex, and he immediately goes for a cover here. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. A 2 count there that could have perhaps led to a victory. However, as you can see, Johnny Gargano is still hurt. Kyle O'Reilly, of course, he's also still hurt. Both men walking into this one with a lot of pain as Johnny Gargano saying, anything you can do, I can do better with a back suplex of his own. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Johnny Gargano in the green, purple, and whites. Kyle O'Reilly in the yellow, black, and red of the Undisputed Era. However, right now, it seems as though Johnny Gargano, wait a second, Johnny Gargano trips him up, and there you see the submission specialist, Johnny Gargano. He calls himself Johnny Wrestling because he's an all-around great athlete here in the world of professional wrestling. And as you can see right now, he immediately turned that into an expertly timed submission hold. However, Kyle O'Reilly, in my opinion, perhaps more of a submission specialist than Johnny Gargano. However, you can't deny that both men have a lot of skill and a lot of heart, as they are both looking to leave here tonight with a victory. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Northern Lights suplex by Kyle O'Reilly, almost knocking Gargano's lights out. Yet Kyle O'Reilly, oh, wait a second, pulls him back to the middle of the ring, and there you see Kyle O'Reilly with a submission hold in his own right. Johnny Gargano, he connected with a submission hold, trying to tap out O'Reilly, and now it's O'Reilly with one in his own right, looking to choke out Gargano, looking to make Gargano tap. If Kyle O'Reilly can do it, then he will be leaving here tonight with a victory. As Gargano now, oh, well, there you see the punches connecting by Gargano. Gargano realizing that he does not have the strength to lift him up with a powerbomb counter that we've seen a few competitors use to get out of a maneuver like that, a submission hold like that. However, Gargano, nonetheless, he's a crafty competitor, so he punched out of it. Oh, it's Johnny Gargano, there you see, sends Kyle O'Reilly into the corner. And the cover now, 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Kyle O'Reilly going face first into the middle turnbuckle, and yet it's Johnny Gargano who does not keep him down for the 3. As Gargano now waits for him to get up from the corner, charges towards him. Kyle O'Reilly moves out of the way. Kyle O'Reilly moves out of the way, kicks him in the gut, and there you see connecting brainbuster. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count. Both men hitting each other with that signature styling, with those signature maneuvers. Kyle O'Reilly with that devastating brainbuster. Johnny Gargano with the lawn dart. And now, once again, Kyle O'Reilly using this as an opportunity to try and tap out Gargano. We saw him try to choke him out earlier on with this very same maneuver. Gargano, however, right now, he's in a dangerous predicament. However, once again, there you see, using that other hand to take out Kyle O'Reilly and to pull himself away from that submission hold. However, there you see Kyle O'Reilly with those signature palm strikes, taking down Gargano. And now, Kyle O'Reilly, he's got him in a submission hold once again, this time with the armbar, this time working over the arm. And Kyle O'Reilly, the submission specialist, perhaps the better technical wrestler, looking to tap out Johnny Gargano here. Johnny Gargano, he's stuck in a horrible position. He can't reach the ropes, so he's got to figure out a way to get out of this. And once again, he punches his way out of it. And perhaps that is the difference. Kyle O'Reilly, he's much more of a grappler. He's much more of a submission specialist. As I mentioned before, Johnny Gargano, he's got a lot of heart, but he also has a hard punch. And of course, perhaps an even harder kick as Kyle O'Reilly flies to the outside. I was in the middle of talking about Gargano. Kyle O'Reilly, just like always, looks to steal the spotlight as he connects with the suicide dive all the way to the outside. Both men exhausted, both men in pain, and perhaps This match could be over here. 2. No, and only a 2 count. Kyle O'Reilly hitting Gargano with everything in his arsenal. As Kyle kicks him in the knee. Oh my God, Kyle O'Reilly! Kyle O'Reilly! 1, 2. No, and only a 2 count. Kyle O'Reilly! I was just saying it. Kyle O'Reilly, using everything in his moveset, he's decided to steal from Adam Cole's moveset, hitting Gargano with the last shot! Hitting Gargano with the last shot, and yet Gargano gets the shoulder up. Okay, O'Reilly realizes that Adam Cole is a former king of the ring in his own right, so why not steal his own maneuver? Oh God, however, Johnny Gargano kicks out, and now he slams Kyle back into the mat. As Gargano now, there you see Irish whip, and he connects with a massive forearm. Massive forearm by Gargano here tonight. As now Gargano, wait a second, Gargano has him in the perfect position. He's got him here in the Gargano escape. He's got him here in the Gargano escape. We saw the last shot by Kyle O'Reilly, trying to earn himself a victory, stealing Adam Cole's finishing maneuver, but perhaps Gargano with his own finishing maneuver. Perhaps he could tap out Kyle O'Reilly here. Oh God, but no, Kyle O'Reilly with that knee to the back of the skull, getting out of the Gargano escape. Of course, Johnny earlier on tapped out Andrade Cien Almas with that very same Gargano escape in order to get here. However, right now, it's Kyle O'Reilly who breaks out of the submission hold as Gargano continues with the strikes. However, right now, Kyle O'Reilly and Gargano are now in a back and forth frenzy here. Oh God, with the strikes over and over again. Counter for counter, blow for blow, hitting each other with those hands like cinder blocks. However, right now, Gargano with those punches over and over again. He's got Kyle on the ropes here. He's got Kyle O'Reilly on the ropes. That's exactly where he wants him. With Kyle in a dangerous predicament. Johnny Gargano. Oh, wait a second. Gargano. Rob's high, firing himself up here. We saw it earlier from Kyle O'Reilly. Why not hit your own, kid, with the suicide dive by Gargano? Flying to the outside on Kyle O'Reilly. As now Gargano, he's feeling the energy of the crowd. Okay, that energy from the crowd, that typically fuels him in big match stipulations. As Kyle O'Reilly on the outside. Oh, wait a second, Kyle O'Reilly! Okay, he stole from Adam Cole's moveset. Why not steal from Roderick Strong's? He's got him with the end of Heartache on the outside, and Gargano falls spine first on the knees of Kyle. 1, 2, no, and yet, Gargano kicks out. Gargano kicks out, moving out of the way of that incoming attack there. I'm sorry that I was in such a stunned silence that I can't necessarily believe what I'm seeing. As, oh, wait a second. Johnny Gargano, flying to the outside! Kyle O'Reilly stealing maneuvers from his tag team partners, while Johnny Gargano steals a maneuver from his life partner there, stealing from Candice LeRae with that suicide dive DDT that she has become well known for here in the WWE, as Gargano now following the dive. 1, 2, no, and only a 2 count with Kyle O'Reilly kicking out. Kyle O'Reilly kicks out of the suicide dive DDT as both men look across the ring at one another. They are exhausted, they are in pain, but they realize how big of a matchup this is. This is the main event of our show here tonight. This is the finale of the King of the Ring tournament. Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano. And here we go. Gargano and Kyle. Back and forth forearms here. Over and over again. Kyle O'Reilly barely on his own 2 feet. Johnny Gargano, uses his own well-educated feet to good use. Johnny Gargano takes him down with the super kick. And a DIY super kick for good measure! Gargano, middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, no! Kyle O'Reilly kicks out! Kyle O'Reilly kicked out of the DIY super kick. And Gargano cannot believe it. Kyle gets back to his feet. Gargano grabs him. Oh boy, look at Kyle O'Reilly there. You can see using the knee. Oh, to get out of the hold. 1, 2, 3. Kyle O'Reilly's done it. Regal Plex out of nowhere by O'Reilly. Regal Plex out of nowhere by O'Reilly. And yet, Johnny Gargano, after all of that, he is unable to kick out. Gargano promised the world that he was gonna leave here tonight as the king of the ring. Yet Kyle O'Reilly takes those dreams away from him. However, you have to applaud both men. Both men using everything in their arsenal and hell, stealing moves from other people as well. O'Reilly, of course, stealing from the rest of the Undisputed Era. Johnny Gargano stealing from his wife. As both men hit each other with everything. However, it's Kyle O'Reilly out of nowhere with the Regal Plex connecting in order to get the job done. Kyle O'Reilly has done it. Last year, it was the leader of the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, who left with a massive victory as the king of the ring. This year, however, it's another member of the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching what has been an incredible show, filled with unpredictable outcomes, filled with non-stop surprises, and filled with tremendous action. However, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I want to thank you all for watching one last time. I'll see you next time.